It was December. My client, Bill Brennan, and I went down to the courthouse for a settlement conference. Now, Bill had been a paramedic, and he loved being a paramedic. But he got hurt on the job when Bill and his partner were sent from their normal fire station down to a hospital in downtown San Diego, and they had to work there for a week. Unfortunately, the hospital put him in these beds, because they were 24-hour shifts, in the basement, and the corridor or the hallway in this basement was full of furniture from floor to ceiling on both sides of the hallway. And one night, at about 2:30 in the morning, after Bill and his partner came in from bringing a patient to the hospital, something hit Bill when he was walking down that hallway. He lost his balance, fell down, and he injured his shoulder, injuring permanently and becoming disabled because of problems with the cartilage in his right shoulder. So we go down to the settlement conference, and I'm thinking, maybe I can get Bill a nice settlement, a fair settlement. Wouldn't that be a wonderful Christmas present for my client, Bill? We go into the courthouse. Bill and I were seated in the courthouse, and then I got asked to go back talk to the judge, which I did. So I tell the judge about our case, tell him my view of the case, and I tell him our settlement demand. Then he asked me to leave and asked the defense lawyer to go in. So the defense lawyer goes in, tells the judge his side of the case. And then the defense lawyer comes out and says, the judge wants to see you again. So I walk back into the judge's chamber. That's his office back behind the court. And the judge looks at me very seriously. He says, Mr. McIntyre, this case is a fraud. This case is a fake. Your client set this up, and it's not real. I'm warning you, if you go and try this case, you could lose your license as a California lawyer. Now, I try to do my best poker face and not show the judge anything. But basically, he told me all the defense was willing to offer was $5,000. And I said, Judge, I'm going to go talk to my client. I'll tell my client what you've told me. And I turned around. My head was spinning. I'm thinking to myself, holy crap, what am I going to do? I love being a lawyer. I'm going to lose my license? Oh my God. This was not the December settlement conference I was expecting. So it seemed forever to get out into the courtroom, but I asked my client, Bill, I said, Bill, we need to go talk outside. So I took him out in the hall. We found a private place. And then I looked Bill right in the eye. I said, Bill, I want to tell you what the judge told me. I said, Bill, the judge told me that this case was a fake, that you set it up. And I want you to tell me right now, I want you to tell me honestly, was this real or was it a fake? Bill did not bat an eye. And he said right away, Monty, it was real. And I looked him in the eye and I believed him. I knew Bill was telling me the truth. And I had to make a decision right there in the hallway. What was I going to do? Was I going to take the $5,000 and protect myself? Not take the risk that I might lose my license? The license to practice law, which I love to do? Or, because I believe my client, was I going to fight for him? In a second or two, I knew what the answer was. I said, Bill, I believe you. And I'm going to fight for you. And we're not going to take this offer. And we're going to go try this case. So I walked back into the courtroom. I walked back into the judge's chambers. I said, Your Honor, we're not going to take the $5,000. That's not a fair settlement for my client, Bill. He's permanently disabled. He's lost the job that he loved. We're going to fight. We're going to go to trial. And the judge looked at me and said, Mr. McIntyre, you're going to lose this case at trial. But I tell you what, I'm kind of interested in the case. Why don't you give me a call and let me know what happens? So Bill and I left. That was a tough day. I mean, I was told I could lose my license, but I started working my butt off. And we got that case ready for trial. And about a month or two later, we tried that case. Different judge, different department. He was a tough judge. He wasn't really a plaintiff's friendly judge. But we tried that case to the jury. And guess what? At the end of the case, at the end of the trial, the jury believed Bill. Just like I believed Bill. And the jury gave Bill a fair verdict. It awarded Bill $368,000, which, as far as I knew at the time, was probably the largest verdict for a trip and fall that had ever been returned by a San Diego jury. Now, Bill and I were delighted, and we ended up celebrating after this verdict. I was so happy for him. Before the trial, Bill was living on fumes. He was having garage sales to sell the last of his possessions to try to get through to trial. And now, with this jury's verdict, this made a big difference and helped Bill get back on his feet again and continue on and make a new life with some training in a new area and make a new life. Now, I didn't call the settlement judge right away. Our jury came back late in the week, but we celebrated and rested over the weekend, and the following week, early in the week, I called up the judge, called his clerk, and the clerk said, "Oh, Mr. McIntyre, we already know about the verdict." I said, "You do?" And the clerk said, "Yes." The moment the jury came back with the verdict, the clerk in the judge's department where you tried the case called me, told me what the verdict was, and the settlement judge already knows. So at the end of the day, what I learned in representing Bill is when you believe your client, you have to fight for your client. And I believed Bill, and I fought for him. And fortunately for Bill, the jury believed him too. And it should have, because Bill was telling the truth. So the reason I prepare my case summaries that I call California case summaries, where I give you summaries on a monthly, quarterly, or annual basis of all the new civil or family law cases, I prepare those because I know you, as trial lawyers, have to fight for your clients. And here's what happens. When you read our short, organized summaries, short summaries to the point, organized by legal topic, you're going to get the ammunition, the ammo that you need, because reading these new cases gives you great ideas for discovery you should do, depots you should take, issues you should raise in your pleadings. They also give you great ideas for winning arguments you can make in your motions. I had one of my subscribers get an idea from one of my summaries, and they filed a motion for summary judgment, won the whole case, knocked it out. They also will give you great ideas for winning arguments you can make in your trial. So, I want to give you the ammo that you need. And the ammo that you need is something short and organized so you can find the information you need for your practice areas so you can fight and win for your clients. And because of that lesson I learned a long time ago with Bill, I know that when you believe your client, you got to fight for him. So my goal is to help you fight and win for your clients.